I've got nothing to say to you.
It's you again. What is it? Again? Yeah, whatever. Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn... And you went and pushed.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this.
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T.
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me these
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters. A mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence.
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting...
I won't be on your bulletin board.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide.
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened in on their
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff.
What's on it? We call it the door gun, a mega mix.
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Six crumbling petals.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Mabel's or Lucille's tears during the revolution.
This flower is a spring flower.
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the customs, it's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
The petals feel dry and fragile. You stare at the great door gun. The compact tape player is the machine was made in Revachol by a company called Le Mercier. There's no fixing this one.
This would have been very helpful with the Megamix. But it isn't any. My Kinema only comes with radio. Let's try to find a new tape player. Perhaps we should talk to Roy at the pawn shop.
Hello again. How can I help you? Yeah, we still have those boom boxes on the shelves. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier today.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being truthful.
Sure, man.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber.
A discount?
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. The Door Gunner Megamix is his type of tape. Certainly, he'd give you a discount if he knew you'd play something so experimental.
4AL is offensively low, but just this once, for the music concrete cop. And here you are, quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever, turn any...
The portal is just what you needed. You push, command set, and the...
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice one. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your portal. The tape stops spinning.
End of recording. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still,
there's more going on here than we know.
it seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he wasn't. Indeed, but
there's more going on here than we...
It seemed authentic enough. Yes. It was just locker room talk.
There's more going on.
Corty could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the group.
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a fruit.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
She puts her coffee with a soft ring.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions, only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the running joke? I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Norani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of...
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed...
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Like, for example...
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to...
Lelystad. That's a good start. It just occurred to me, colleague. We still haven't performed the field autopsy on the questions I have assumed some kind of foreknowledge on our part. I suggest we go and perform it now, and return once we've brought ourselves up to date. Miss, excuse my colleague. He has recently suffered brain damage. You won't have to look at that site much longer, I promise.
There is no talking him out of this. And no.
Promising race pupil returns. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everett's lap.
Spoken by a mercenary pretending to be a worker.
A shrill laughter interrupts you. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. Farewell, ham sandwich. You are
bringing of the law jaw. Okay, so we now know why you have law jaw, why you say the law in a weird manner, and why your jaw.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
By the way, kipped is a racial slur. You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to...
Kuno knows which kipped Kuno meant. Kuno knows all the kipped. Kuno's dad's a kipped expert. Says kipped every day. 100 times a day. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit.
Trying to crawl out of Kuno.
Yeah? The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down. So? North Jamrock. Kuno meant everything north of 881. The rooster fucked Kuno's words up. Kuno doesn't do south. Doesn't fuck with the madre.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like...
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. What is this? Trying to be cool with your new asshole? Kuno was just being nice to you. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to...
Yeah!
Yeah, real interesting.
The fuck about it? Your test.
Get lost,
Kuno.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim, yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are
the RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell. You must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there. I mean when I need you to. Until then, I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes. That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
That's you.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings.
KK57 dash.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
And what would that make the
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone? 10:15. It's understated.
Good. Let's go with that. We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down. What's next? Date of birth? NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well see. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor...
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10.
HDB 41 0803.1.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or...
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers. We should start the postmortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see. Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a bucket, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below.
See? My pig is...
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing...
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are...
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades. Dispersal and...
We have a real museum. Last item. Hands.
The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids. Like it's...
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making... Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the external and internal examination first. Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it. Gently, you hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, jack that!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. Inside, you need silence.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, Na. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts. Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory.
Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, Na. Unless you have untapped
reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if you were cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feels. Leave a 4th one too. Oh, so we inflicted them? You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung? That was not a team effort. I just missed my shot. Also, let's not mention it. Muddies the water.
See? These pigs.
Why don't you fuck?
Now, injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to... And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum...
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man, beneath the...
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a... I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Why do you say that? Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part... Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field. We also requested a toxicological screening. That we were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. It was we also requested a We were thorough with the list. I need a copy of that autopsy form for processing.
I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Joke. Look at me. A killer. Go ahead. Into the wild. In the past. What do you mean? It's the power of your magic. Go ahead. Ask me. Because you're a copperoony. Here you go, you loony. Because you have. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. No. You're not a Harry either. Do I remind you?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
There you go. Look at that.
Feeling nausea, vomiting, tenderness or pain.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
man is The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.